Hello, I'm Akhil Kumar, and today I am with Ashish Khetan, who is the Vice Chairman of Delhi Dialogue Commission of the Delhi government. Yesterday he has written a letter to PM Modi apprising him of an investigation into over-invoicing by power companies. Mr. Ashish, can you just break it down for our readers and explain what exactly is it that you have mentioned in the letter?
See, I wrote to the Prime Minister and I have informed him that there is a massive electricity scam which is going on in the country for the last many years and perhaps many decades. The modus operandi of the private energy companies is the following. They are into the business of power generation. Some of them are also into the business of power transmission, and some of them are also into the business of importing coal and then supplying it to various government companies as well as private companies in the country. Now, the companies related to Gautam Adani Group, the companies related to Anil Ambani Group, and the companies related to SR Group in particular have been over-invoicing all their imports so they could pass on the extra burden of over-invoicing to the customer, to the consumer. And when I say consumer, I mean you and me, because eventually the power is consumed by the common man. We consume power and we pay for the charges that these energy companies claim. There are two kinds of charges. One is the charges of plant and machinery that they import, the other is the fuel charge. Now both for plant and machinery and for coal, both of them are required to produce power. They have been inflating their cost, and when they inflate their cost, we end up paying more in terms of power tariff. And this has been going on from the papers that I have got from the DRI. It appears that it has been going on for almost 7-8 years, perhaps more. What is DRI? DRI is Directorate of Revenue Intelligence. It works under the Finance Ministry. They started this investigation sometime in the month of January 2014 when UPA was in power. And I think out of sheer revenge that UPA wanted to wreak on Modi, and they could see Modi was coming into power and they knew that Modi is very close to Gautam Adani. They started an investigation against Gautam Adani. In the process, they also started the investigation against SR and Anil Ambani Group. And all three and many other companies, they are following the same modus operandi. So, investigation is of DRI. Now, these are the reports.
Yeah, so can you give us a little more detail on what exactly is it that these DRI documents say?
Now, the DRI has done very detailed investigation. What DRI established through documents, that there were intermediaries that were created by Adani, Ambani, SR in foreign countries, in Dubai, in British Virgin Island, in Hong Kong, in Malaysia. They had created these intermediaries. So while the coal and plant and machinery was being shipped directly from the original equipment manufacturer or from the coal supplier, so suppose the Indonesian coal firms were directly shipping coal to India, but the invoicing was done in the name of a front company that Adani, Ambani and SR had floated somewhere in Dubai or in some other tax haven.
Okay. Goods
are coming directly. Invoicing is done in the name of a front company which is established somewhere in a foreign haven. Most of the times it was established in a tax haven.
Okay.
So suppose the goods are of worth $100. They would ship it directly to India, but they will invoice it to $100 to the front company. Now that front company will invoice it sometimes $200, sometimes $300, sometimes $400 to the parent company in India. The idea and the modus operandi was very simple, and it was the following. All power companies, they are bankrolled by public sector banks. All their imports, whether it's the import of plant and machinery or the import of coal, it is financed by public sector banks. So it's not their money. So the public sector bank money, which is your money and my money, it flows out of a country into their tax haven. So a thing which actually cost them $100, we are paying $200 for the same thing. $100 goes to the original equipment manufacturer, which is the actual cost. $100, which is a siphoned off money, it goes to then further on to Switzerland or some other bank account, Mauritius, Panama. Like Gautam Adani's brother, his name figures in these papers. His statement has been recorded.
Okay.
He is actually one of the brains behind this whole scam. His name is Mr. Vinod Shantilal Shah Adani. Now, who is Mr. Vinod Adani? He is the elder brother of Gautam Adani. Recently, when Indian Express, an international consortium of investigative journalists, carried a series of articles, his name again figured in the Panama Papers. He had been holding foreign companies, which is basically for siphoning of money, basically for evading taxes, since 1994. So a year after Adani Group came into existence, Mr. Vinod Shantilal Shah Adani, the elder brother of Gautam Adani, had set up a web of companies in Panama. They are the brains. All this money they are stealing and they are parking it abroad. Now these papers show, look at this table. And I should congratulate DRI that they have done a very detailed investigation, because they have got all the documents, back-to-back documents. They got the original invoice that a firm sitting in South Korea or China had done in the name of the front company in Dubai. Then they got also the invoice that the front company had done in the name of the company here owned by or controlled by Adani. They have got the original contract between the firm in China or South Korea or Indonesia with the front company in Dubai or anywhere else, and then they also got another contract, back-to-back contract between that firm and the firms here controlled by Adani, SR, Ambani and so on. And in the case of Adani, DRI says that all the contracts were signed by the same person, all the contracts were made here in India. So what they have very clearly established, that the brains were clearly, in the case of Adani it was Gautam Adani's brother, in the case of Ambani they have also mentioned all the names of the people who were controlling this operation. In the name of SR they have mentioned all the names. The scam was happening from India. The sham transactions and the papers for all these sham transactions, contracts, invoices, bank statements, so on, guarantees, they are all getting prepared in India. And it's a double whammy actually for the common man. And this is exactly what I have written in my 5 letters I have sent to ED and CBI, that it's a double whammy for the common man. Why? One, my money which I have saved in public sector banks, it is getting stolen, and these Adanis and Ambanis and SRs, they are siphoning it off and sending it abroad. 2, because I am the power consumer eventually, all this cost, they get inflated in my power bill. So when my power should have cost me say 3 rupees per unit, it is costing me 5 rupees per unit, because they have inflated it by 2 rupees per unit. Okay. So I am getting squeezed from all sides. My money in the bank is being siphoned off, and every month you are, जैसे कहते हैं जेब काट रहे हो मेरी, every month you are scamming me by inflating my power bills. And this has been going on. You know, I wrote to the Prime Minister. I said, sir, I have been listening to your Mann Ki Baat for last 2 years. You speak very well, but you have suddenly stopped speaking about corruption and about inflation. While before the elections, he used to always talk about corruption. मैं चौकीदार हूँ, प्रधान चौकीदार हूँ, प्रधान सेवक हूँ, ना खाऊंगा ना खाने दूंगा. बहुत हुई महंगाई की मार, अब की बार मोदी सरकार. बहुत हुआ भ्रष्टाचार, अब की बार मोदी सरकार. Now for the last 2 years, he has suddenly stopped speaking about corruption and inflation. And in this case, in this scam, there is both corruption and also at the root of inflation is again corruption. Because if this scam was not happening, your power bill and my power bill would have been lighter and we could have been saving money. And for a common man who ends up earning say 20,000, 30,000 rupees a month, if he is getting scammed by 2,000, 3,000 rupees every month, it means a lot. Yeah. Which basically means that he could have sent his children to better school, which basically means that he could have bought an extra pair of shoes for his children, which basically means that he could have saved a little more money for his children's education. Okay. It's shameful. Maybe the CBI and ED, they are covering this up at their own level, because this DRI investigation is quite old. It started from 2014.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. Does this report have a release date?
Yes, of course, they have all the dates, as I told you.
So when was this investigation conducted? Now,
some of them are as latest as 30th of March 2016. Okay. This is about all the coal imports done by 40 odd companies, which includes 5 companies of Adani Group: Adani Enterprise, Adani Power Rajasthan, Adani Power Maharashtra, Adani Wilmar Limited. Then it includes 2 companies of Reliance ADA Group, Reliance Infrastructure Limited and Rosa Power Supply Company Limited. Then it includes companies of SR. And strangely, it also includes companies like NTPC, okay, SR Oil Limited, SR Power Gujarat Limited, and some of the public sector companies. So which means that even officials of public sector companies were also involved in this scam. And clearly, now when public sector companies are also involved in this over-invoicing scam, it shows the people who were at the helm of affairs, they were pocketing this money. And they were the eventual beneficiaries of the money which was flowing out of the country. I have written to the Prime Minister that, look, this investigation was done by DRI some time back. All these papers are with the CBI. Papers of Adani Group are actually with the CBI. Just before UPA demitted from power, they referred all these papers to the CBI. CBI even registered what they call PE, which is a preliminary inquiry. Mm-hmm. Now it is an open and shut case. Look at this table. There is comparison of invoice prices, 3 original equipment manufacturers to the front company of Adani in Dubai and the front company of Adani to a company controlled by Adani here in India. Over invoicing is also mentioned here. Original price is also mentioned here. The inflated price is also mentioned here, because they managed to get all the documents. Yeah. It's a document based investigation, and they have done a very good job. Now what is this government waiting for?
Why do you think there has been no action in this investigation?
See, that is something we need to find out. I have written to the Prime Minister that it is widely known, it is an open secret, that Gautam Adani is very close to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He has been very close to Mr. Modi from the time he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. He always flew in his aircraft. He was always seen in his company. Vibrant Gujarat, they were always together. They would, even when Mr. Modi went to Japan as Chief Minister of Gujarat, and he went there on a couple of occasions, Gautam Adani always accompanied him. And if you recall, when Mr. Prime Minister Narendra Modi flew in to Delhi to take oath as Prime Minister, he again flew in the aircraft owned and operated by Adani. So one is that I don't know whether there is pressure from the top or the investigating agencies at their own level are hushing up the entire matter. I have written to the Prime Minister. Maybe CBI and ED are hushing up the matter at their own level and they have not properly briefed you. But I have got all these papers from a whistleblower. Okay. It's my duty as a citizen to apprise you of this investigation so that you should know that the company that you're keeping, one of Gautam Adani, Anil Ambani, Ruia brothers, it doesn't befit you, and two, more importantly, you take action.
Yeah.
Because this corruption is directly impacting the common man. There could not be any other scam which has such a direct impact on the common man. So that's why it is very serious. I'm sure Mr. Prime Minister will give me time, and once I give him all these papers, let's hope there will be some action.
Okay. So anything else you would like to add?
Well, this is quite serious. I'm happy that Wire is taking it up. Hopefully other news publications, other media houses will also pick it up. It's a massive scam. Maybe it runs into the tune of 2 lakh crore at least, and this is not what you call a presumptive loss. This is a real loss, because hard money, public sector banks money, cash is outflowing, is being remitted abroad, and you and I are getting scammed by inflated power bills. I remember Prime Minister said, you all saw him on TV yesterday, he said कि मेरी सरकार में स्कैम नहीं हुआ. तो ये बात तो मनमोहन सिंह भी बार बार कहते थे कि भाई मैंने कोई स्कैम नहीं किया. हो सकता है नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने भी कोई स्कैम नहीं किया हो. लेकिन दो चीज़ें बड़ी महत्वपूर्ण हैं. नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने कहा था ना खाऊंगा ना खाने दूंगा. मतलब मेरे इर्द गिर्द अगर कोई खा रहा है तो उसको खाने नहीं दूंगा, और अगर कोई किसी ने खाया है तो उसके खिलाफ एक्शन लूंगा. इसी मामले में मनमोहन सिंह जी विफल हो गए. ही फेल्ड कंप्लीटली, बिकॉज दो ही हिमसेल्फ वाज अबव बोर्ड, ही डिडंट मेक एनी मनी, वी ऑल कंसीड दैट, बट ही अलाउड पीपल अराउंड हिम टू मेक मनी. When it became clear that people around him were making money, he still didn't take any action. He kept quiet, and worse, the investigating agencies protected people who had been making money and had been involved in scams. Modi said he is different. He would neither allow people to steal money, and if anybody steals money, he will take action. Now here, people have stolen money. Companies apparently, reportedly close to him, Adani, Ambani, they have stolen money. Agencies are sitting on all this hard evidence, apparently open and shut cases. Still for last 2 years, no action is taken. Now this is where the litmus test for Mr. Modi lies. Whether he is different from Manmohan Singh, or he is no better or worse than what Manmohan Singh was. That's what will become very clear from the action or the inaction that follows in this case.
Okay, thank you.